What is up, guys? It's J-Bob here, owner and founder of the StupidCraft server. And today, I would like to talk about the biggest exploit my server StupidCraft has ever seen. Now, to preface this for maybe some of you who are new around here, StupidCraft is a survival server with one key mission, and that's to provide the best Minecraft multiplayer survival experience that we can. And we do this by running StupidCraft as a semi-anarchy server. This means we let players do pretty much whatever they want. If you join the server, you can do as you please. You can go out and adventure and kill players, grief people's bases, steal their items, pretty much do whatever you want, as long as you're not hacking, using exploits, or being overly toxic. And the way we achieve this is by having anti-cheat plugins and a staff team that moderates the players. This is so we can keep our server in a state where all players can have the best experience that we can provide. And recently, with the growing popularity of the StupidCraft server, with now almost 10,000 players joining at least once, there has been a rise in rule breakers. Lamau, like bruh. Rule breakers? Come on, dude. We've had many players try and get away with X-ray cheats and texture packs, and even PvP hacks, which is probably the most common stuff we see. We've even had a small group trying to work on a lag machine to try and bring down the server. But the absolute worst thing that has ever happened in StupidCraft history this far is far more sinister. You see, it all started back on StupidCraft 1.0, our first open-to-join version of StupidCraft, which was an exclusive Bedrock-only server. And it was on this exclusive Bedrock server, the first edition of StupidCraft, where a player who we will call Steve first joined the server and started becoming quite powerful by abusing X-ray and duplication exploits, which were pretty common on StupidCraft 1.0, as we didn't really have any ways of stopping these exploits, as there wasn't many plugins out there for the Bedrock edition that would allow us to do so. But anyhow, these exploits were very common, and Steve grew to be very, very wealthy until none other than ya boy J-Bob himself raided Steve and took everything, bruh. Everything. You see, Zelksty, one of our server staff at the time, and Steve were friends on the server. Zelksty had a set home at Steve's main stash, and one day, Zelksty just so happened to TP me to Steve's main stash, where I found all of his valuable items and stole over 10 stacks of X-ray duplicated diamond blocks from Steve. And it just so happened that these diamonds were in fact the diamond blocks that I later used as a prize for the StupidCraft Fight Club event. But with all that, Steve being raided and losing months of progress on the server, he had quit and never joined again. It wasn't until the launch of our current StupidCraft server, which is actually a Java server that is now cross-play with Bedrock. So both Java and Bedrock players being able to play on the new StupidCraft server, Steve, who is primarily now a Java player, decided to make his return to the StupidCraft server. Only this time, cheating was practically impossible. With all of our new anti-cheat plugins and our staff team, Steve had to find a new way to get rich. But Steve was very resourceful, and he had many friends who had played on StupidCraft over the years. One of which was a very close friend and former base mate of Steve on the original StupidCraft server. They were such close friends that they actually swapped account info, so that way when working on the server when the other was not online, they could log into the other's account and retrieve things from their ender chest that they may need. And it just so happened that this close friend and base mate of Steve's later became a StupidCraft admin with full abilities on the server. but then later became inactive due to IRL responsibilities. And so with the launch of the brand new StupidCraft server, Steve still had access to this admin account. And he logged in and began to wreak havoc on the server. Well, not quite. As you see, if Steve did anything too crazy, he knew he would get caught. He had to play it smart and try and keep his access to this account a secret. No one could know. Steve would wait for the server to quiet down when most people would log off for the night, and he would get on that admin account and create stashes full of thousands of items. I'm talking diamonds, netherite, end crystals, mob spawners, PvP kits, and so much more. And then he would give teleports to these stashes to his main account, so he could play on the server just as a normal player with no suspicion. And with all of Steve's newfound wealth, he decided to start a group on the server, where he and all of his friends became an absolute powerhouse, becoming the most geared players on the entire server, as they had unlimited illegal spawned in resources to work with. But that just wasn't enough. They needed to flex their wealth even harder and began working on a mega main base for the team. But it wasn't long after work on this mega main base began that suspicions began to rise among the server staff. It became very clear the group's wealth on the server was absolutely impossible to obtain within the server's launch to the current day. As you see, it's only been a few months here since the server first launched and was open for players to join. And the amount of loot and gear and items that this group had was absolutely infeasible to obtain legitimately, no matter how many members in the group there were. With knowing that, the staff launched a full-scale investigation looking into all members of this group. In the end, we figured out what happened. We figured out that Steve had access to this admin account. And Steve, the admin, and pretty much all players involved in this exploit that had knowledge of it were permanently banned from the server. But now, I'm confident in saying all of this has been resolved. All of the players that deserved being banned have been banned. And all of the items that were spawned in illegitimately have been deleted. And that's basically it. That is the biggest exploit that StupidCraft has ever seen. The staff team and myself have definitely learned a lot from this transpiring, and now have systems in place where it won't happen again. But yeah, that was definitely the biggest exploit the StupidCraft server has ever seen. And I would just like to say thank you to our amazing staff team that keeps StupidCraft the amazing server that it is without hacks and exploits. But that's the end of today's video. If you enjoyed it, hit that like button. And if you would like to join the StupidCraft server, all of the information can be found in our Discord linked down below. Just make sure you follow the rules. Alrighty guys, thanks for watching. Peace.